I'd like to share with you some do's and don'ts of grandparenting. Number one, do spend quality time with them. It means so much to them, even if they don't show it at the time. Try to build a relationship with them, listen more than talk. Just try to bond with them in a meaningful way. Don't criticize them. Really encourage you to stay in your lane and be there in a supportive way, but not to criticize them. You know, in my opinion, grandparents are basically the only relationship that the children will have in their lifetime that's always there. It's all chesed, it's all kindness, and no gvura, no din, no judgment. And I think that role is something that's irreplaceable. You know, our generation, unfortunately, didn't have many grandparents. Let them take advantage of it and really develop this nourishing relationship with you. Do tell them about your struggles. Tell them how, you know, they hopefully see a successful grandparent and a successful adult. Tell them how you struggled. Tell them about your struggles in business, mistakes that you've made, or how you overcame them. In my personal life, you know, I stuttered as a child. I had other things that I had to work through as a kid. It's so refreshing to them to hear that you went through this. In fact, there's stunning research about resiliency in kids, and one of the things that research shows to be helpful in resiliency is having a relationship with the grandparent. Don't undo the parenting messages that your children are giving them. Honestly, it's not really going to make a difference because they're going home to their parents anyway. You're going to be straining their relationship with your relationship with your parents. And quite frankly, it's very confusing for the grandkids. I really encourage you, just like stay away from that. Do give them inspiring messages. Tell them about the qualities they have and what you think they could do with their lives. It could be general, specific is even better. Don't flatter them in ways that they won't resonate with them. The research actually shows that when we give compliments that people feel aren't correct, it's actually bothersome to them. Don't degrade the parenting techniques that today's parents are generally raising children with, in terms of timeouts, in terms of more progressive treatment. Don't say things like, when I was a kid, our parents told us what to do, and you're basically hanging up a sign on your forehead saying, I don't understand your life. There really is. I don't think there's any meaningful value in that. You could speak about the respect you had for your parents. That is absolutely beautiful, but don't tie that in to negative comments. Do tell them how much you love them often. When they come, when they go, during the day, you know, it's really meaningful. It's part of the emotional bank account, as Stephen Covey says. You can look it up. That you have with them, and it's priceless. It's a priceless gift that you can give your grandchildren. As I said earlier, sometimes it just works out that parents need to discipline their children and things get strained, which is perfectly normal. But we don't have to do that as grandparents. We can just nurture them and give them all chesed and all kindness. And finally, don't undermine, please, the safety messages that they're getting from parents. If your children are telling you that you should tell the children, let's say when you kiss them or you do other things with them, you embrace them, and your children say either that you should ask them if it's okay first, or if they say that, tell the kids that if you're making them uncomfortable, they can tell you to stop, and you will stop if you're, you know, playing around with them and making fools of ourselves as grandparents do. It really is a very important component of child safety. I know, you know, if you didn't raise your children like that and you're not familiar with it, it could sound strange, but it really is an important component. Think about it this way very quickly. If you're telling your children that no one has the right to make you feel uncomfortable, then that's one of the most important messages about child safety. If you do things that make them uncomfortable out of love, of course, it doesn't, God forbid, it's abusive, but if you kiss them in ways that they just go like this and they don't like it, and they say, could you stop? Don't think it's disrespectful, and don't please try not to be offended by it. It's part of a healthy barrier that children have, that they're able to stand up for their own personal space. So I hope you found this helpful. If you're interested in more, I've never done grandparenting classes. I do have a lot to say on the issue. So if you are interested, drop me a note, and I'll be glad to consider giving a series of these classes. Have a wonderful Hanukkah. Enjoy your grandchildren. Enjoy every moment. It's such a priceless and precious gift. Make the most of it and leave your children with enduring messages of love, resiliency, and tradition.